The process of birthing a baby. Never again.
Let's say we mistakenly shoot it.
What are you shooting?
And I come tomorrow and say, babe, I'm pregnant. And we both know that I am still healing. What would be your response?
An abortion is out of it. You know, I don't believe in coincidences.
Then let's try as much as possible not to go.
We brought 4 new parents into the studio today to discuss some difficult questions about their parenthood.
When I just had our baby, I think that took like a mental toll on me and it was hard for me to connect. So a lot of times I would be scared to look straight into her eyes. It just felt like I was looking at a total stranger.
I told my mom that I don't know how you did it, that you have 5 kids. I am still traumatized. Thinking about it alone is scary.
I understand where this is coming from. Over time, you'll definitely get out of this. I understand you.
You think I'll get out?
Yes, I know you will. We'll change your mind.
Will they be able to face this ultimate test of honesty? Sometimes I pretend to not hear our baby cry just so you get up first.
Wow! Father of the year. Well done.
There are times that maybe I'm walking and she's crying. And sincerely, at that moment, I can't get up. Maybe I'm in the process of...
But then I tell you that I know you can hear me.
I will not answer you.
It's not like she's crying. It's like she's just warming up.
Wow.
She's warming up. I'm like...
I'm shocked. I thought we were going to have the same answer. I'm not disappointed.
I call myself a full house husband.
You're not a stay-at-home daddy.
I'm a full house husband.
Work from home.
Yeah, I work.
There's a difference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So sometimes, like, I walk maybe like through the night, and from 3 a.m. at night, I'm like, okay, let me go and sleep. And this area is crying. Sometimes I can hear that she is crying, but I just feel like, oh, I'm on with Sota, and most times she does.
For me, the thing is, I think I respond to it's reflex. I just respond to her cries or whatever she does without thinking about it.
Pretend is a strong word. It's actually a strong word.
It is a strong word.
No, but it's not so. It's not like, sometimes she needs to learn how to express herself.
Wow. Shut up. Shut up. What do you mean?
I take the L.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel like sometimes you just leave being a responsible parent to me. We did this thing together. We have to take care of our
But you also
together.
do it too.
Yes, because sometimes it's draining and tiring, and sometimes I just want a me time. I just want you to also take that role of, okay, I know you are busy too. Let's say maybe she needs to drink water.
Okay.
She specifically mentioned your name. Daddy, I want to drink water. Now say, go and meet your mommy. I will not stand up. She wants her daddy to give her water.
That doesn't happen very often, but yeah, since you started waking up to get him, I was like, okay, I was just, I was like, I can't hear.
Wow.
For me, I'm still in that panicky stage. Like, and when he was crying on the monitor that time, that you heard me sprinting from the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Any small sound or cry, like I'm running.
I feel like, I've passed that stage.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you can handle this. So I was just like,
And it's only fair, to be fair, because you're with him more often. So it's like, okay, maybe he should do the work. But
Yeah.
now I know that. That is crazy. That is crazy.
For me, I would never hear this Siri cry and pretend as if I didn't hear her cry. Remember recently, like during the week, I was actually sleeping. I think I heard her cry. The picture I had in my head, I was sleeping, right? But the picture I had in my head was like, this Siri fell off the bed. That was the picture I had in my head.
I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing because you're working really hard with the baby. You wake up a lot with the baby. You're home more often than I am during the week with the baby. So in those moments where you need a bit extra rest, maybe at night when you're pretending that you're asleep, I'm more than happy to, step in. And I'm quite good at rocking him and putting him back to sleep.
Exactly.
So I do take a bit of pride in doing that. So
The reason why she's so comfortable always saying, Daddy, come and give me water, is because we are always together. Me and her.
Then do it.
So then I don't think there's anything wrong in saying, oh, go and meet your mom at least this once. The way forward would be by the time she's out of the house, we know that, okay, this moment that we have is for us to fix whatever we need to fix in our lives. Then when she's back, we know that, okay, we can now start saying, you take 30 hours out of this, 15 out of this.
We'll do a shift.
They will do a shift, basically. Yeah, basically.
Okay.
My name is Abiola Adebayo Adegui. I'm a gospel artist. I'm also into IT. I've been parenting for 2 years. This is my wife. This is my wife. What of this? She... Talk for yourself now. Are you shy?
I thought you were doing this for me. I'm a fashion designer. I'm a mommy for 2 years. Mommy. The last 2 years has been, I would say, bittersweet. You know, the whole judging from far. Now it's you. You take care of your child so that when other people see, they'll say that, okay, oh, she's a good parent. Or no, see what this person they do. Do you understand? Because there are days that you're really overwhelmed, and there are days that you'll be like, oh, this is my daughter. I'm so blessed.
I can say that, you get to some point, you face some things and you realize that, humanly speaking, you don't even know what to do. You get, we're living here now, we don't know how she's going to feel. So I think it's just been God all along. I can't really put my hands and say, oh, this is what we did right, this is what we're doing right. Nah.
Sometimes I miss the version of us before we became parents.
Wow.
I knew you would say yes.
You know I would say yes. Why?
Because you're always saying, oh, let's go to the beach. I'll be like, oh, where do we put this cereal?
Yeah, like it became a more complex equation. Before I'll just be like, okay, let's go to the beach and it happens. But now you need to factor in like, oh, Desiree, okay, if it's not a place that is baby friendly, then we need to start thinking up. So because of that thought, even subconsciously, we no longer think about going out as frequently as we used to before.
I do miss those times sometimes where we could just go out to dinner, we go on trips to Ghana, Morocco, we're just like carefree, like living for both of us, right? Now there's a whole ass human that, is sometimes in between us, right? Not in a bad way, but is in between us. So I do miss those times where we could just do what we wanted, not having to plan a babysitter, plan our moms to stay with him, things like that. So I do have those moments.
I used to be your baby. I used to be your only love. Well, I'm hoping that you can love us equally without.
So I think what I miss most is the way you baby me.
Hey, now there's another baby now.
Sometimes they say, baby, hold me. Just hold me, and I sleep off. But now, there's one small madam, like, you literally push me, like, mommy, move.
The end of our marriage is specific to us, and we decide how we want it to be. And of course, our children are just visitors. They're just going to come. We're going to parent them, and then we're going to move on to their own partners. And we will be the last man standing, basically. We'll be with ourselves together forever. So,
because even now, like, we're trying to watch a show, and he starts, maybe starts crying, and like I'm pausing, and you're like, no, it's fine, you don't have to pause. I'm like, no, I have to pause
because
and you're not really focusing. So I do miss those times where we could just be young and free and things like that. Without thinking.
You're so intentional about me. Don't take it the wrong way, but I miss how intentional, like every single detail about me. But now I feel like because of the responsibilities which I give you credit for, I miss that version of you that was extra about me.
I miss those days a lot, but then I won't trade now for anything. Let her just start school first. Once she's out of the house.
We haven't been parents before. We always say that. So I don't necessarily miss, because I feel like what's in front is like a lot more exciting than what's behind. So
we've done if fathers and sons, we're 100% honest. We've also done fathers and daughters, we're 100% honest. We've done if mothers and sons, we're 100% honest. Also done if mothers and daughters are 100% honest. Feels like we've done it all. Guess what we are doing next? If grandparents and their grandchildren, we're 100% honest. If you were raised by your grandparent, or you just want to create some memories that you can always look back on while they're still here, please click the link in the description to apply. By the way, my grandma said you should subscribe, so your destiny will not be tied. What the fuck?
I'm afraid our sex life might have been changed forever.
I think for us, we're quite self-aware that it has changed, but I don't see it being a permanent thing. Like, we both understand it's a phase right now that we're in, where everything has to be super quiet, everything has to be super planned, and we can't just be so like impromptu or impulsive with these things anymore.
Same, I feel the exact same way. Like I always say, like this is just for this is the season that we're in, and I feel like right now, like I'm still doing pretty good. It's not as bad as a lot of parents complain. So,
I believe strongly that when it comes to sex, it's something that people need to work on. Everybody will get to that point where you don't even want sex, with or without a child. Do you get what I mean? So yes, having a child might have affected us, but it is not something that cannot be worked on.
Yes, our sex life has changed, but I believe it is something we can work on, and I don't think that's the way it's going to be forever. After the series birth, I think there's been an improvement to where we are.
Coming from the horse's mouth, if she says we are working on it more, I think we are working on it.
One of the things that helped us was addressing like times where we're not able to do, the actual baby making activities, and, still ensure that we're,
I can't believe we're talking about this in public.
yeah, just ensure that we're still there for each other, in other kinds of ways.
I'm a work in progress.
Yeah, we know.
Of course, having Selma kind of dealt with me a little and kind of affected our sex life. I think the fact that we are accountable to each other, which I love very well. My own is when she starts school, I am rest assured. I know that we can get our lives back.
Are you planning a way to send her out of?
No, but I know that at least there's a time frame for her not being at home. If we want to do, we have to wait till she sleeps. Don't worry, fuck about it.
And it's actually easier having the conversation right now with you. But I understand that like a lot of equations went on in your body during the course of pregnancy, having another human being in your womb for 9 months, not something you've experienced before. And I think that probably destabilizes your whole system. Then on my own part too, like as a man, I have to like just control myself better and maybe this period will pass like we used to say during COVID. My name is Sunday Abegunde. I'm a freelance video editor. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Mojisola. And we have an amazing daughter, about 2 years old. And she's the most beautiful thing like we have in her life right now. I can remember like, she was in the theater, the baby was out. I was like, where's my wife? She was saying that she did not remember anything. And the nurses, everybody were like, wait, you don't remember anything. So when I came into the ward, they were like, okay, do you know the person standing in front of you? It was like, oh, my husband. Okay, if you know that word, we are fine.
That's why you being a doctor. What you learn actually is the theory part. Nobody will teach you those like practical parts, like how pregnancy feels like. You're doing vaginal examinations for other people and all that. But you experiencing that, nobody tells you how it would be. And that was the first time I was a patient in my life. I actually learned how to be a patient, and I learned like, wow, this is how patients feel. And you're on that other side of the divide, and your emotions, your mind, everything is totally different. It's different.
Our baby looks more like me.
Selma resembles your mom, and which means she also resembles. But when I see her, I see mommy more. Jeez, they look so much alike.
I don't understand the science of it, but they say like babies just look into genetics like 3 generations and just pick one of your ancestor like that and decide that that's the face she wants to have.
Of course, he looks more like me. But I feel like it's a blend of both of us most of the time.
Yeah, I think you're winning right now, but I'm going to get you in the next.
We shall see. You must be kidding. How?
Well, she's fairer than me.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's more of your calling.
It actually looks like me, even when she was born.
100%.
Well, remember my mom carried her, be like, this is Boji, like, since other people see it.
Yeah, other people say so. You want this one?
I don't see the resemblance anyways.
It's there. The resemblance is there. But when people now see grandma, they're like, oh, wow, they look so much
Exactly.
alike.
I look like my mom, so definitely she looks like me.
Definitely.
So
Everybody says she looks like you.
Everybody says.
She has your eyes, your nose,
I think she has your nose.
No, she has your nose. I think when she was just born,
She looks like you.
like me. Yes, her baby picture.
Yes.
Sorry, she's still a baby. She looks like you. I agree. We've talked about this.
The physical things just look more like you, but there are other things that people might not know, and it basically shows that she's my daughter.
I agree, sir.
I don't really need him to look like me, to be honest. It's more like I want to be able to play football with him, play outside with him, and maybe get more of my personality. Him looking like me is nice. It'd be a nice bonus, but like I really prefer like more intrinsic things than more about his appearance.
It's been a bit annoying at the start where people are like, oh, he looks just like your husband. Nothing about him reminds you of me. I was like, oh, that doesn't even make any sense. Like we gave birth to him.
That was pretty useful.
Yeah, so
pretty
but
useful.
now I was like, it's amazing that he looks like me. I like that. Okay, hi, my name is Chioma. I'm a security consultant, and this is my husband, Emeka.
I'm Emeka Wani. I'm the CEO of Meadow Hall Group. I also do content creation for like sports, and I have a show called the Emeka Wani Show where I talk about, relationships, just life and work and business and things like that. And this is my beautiful wife, Chioma Wani.
So we've been new parents for 4 months, almost 5 actually.
Yeah, so about 4.5 months now.
Yeah.
So we had him in the US and we moved back to Nigeria about 2 months ago. So he's also just acclimatizing to his new environment and trying to obviously raise a son. So yeah, so it's been 4.5 months now.
To the glory of God, I had easy pregnancy. I didn't have a lot of symptoms, just some fatigue here and there, foods that I couldn't eat. But other than that, I had a pretty easy pregnancy. So I guess that kind of helped me feel a bit more confident while I was pregnant. And then I also had the supportive partner as well.
So the delivery process was quite challenging. And I feel, again, it's one of those things that you experience as a couple. In that moment, there's no mommy, there's no daddy. It's like, it's just me, her, and God, really, in that moment. So that was a very challenging day. But again, it's one of those things that we'll always remember for the rest of our lives that connects us.
I have questioned if I'm good enough for this role as a parent.
That sometimes I still look in the mirror and see like my young self. I don't picture myself as a father. Like when I'm a dad, it's still like something I'm processing, that like I'm a whole ass father right now. Am I doing enough, providing, how to provide for you guys? I'm working, trying to also manage our relationship, make sure you also feel loved and seen and heard, and still manage a baby and a business. So sometimes I do worry, like, am I enough? Things like that.
I feel like as the firstborn daughter in an African home, like I feel like I've always had that like parenting, like the third parent. So I have 3 younger siblings. In my mind, I kind of raised them.
Sometimes I see you, and when I see you, you're like, you have your phone on one hand, you have your food on one hand, and you're still able to feed him with like your chin. Like your chin is holding the bottle up and you're feeding, you're doing this, you're doing that. And so I'm trying to hold him and it's like, it's just not quite like fitting, and so now obviously now I'm a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
But like I've had those moments like, yeah, dad, like do better, kind of feel like.
I mean, there are days that I struggled. The days that, you just see it even without me saying it. I mean, you just take out just for me to be myself. And the times that I am alone, I get to question if I am really trying to be there for this girl. I feel like, okay, you're just pushing everything to this man to be doing. Like, this girl actually wants you. There are days that she comes to meet me and I change it like, Oga. Now I'm just realizing that maybe it's not that I really want to push her away. Maybe I'm just drained. There are days I question myself, but then.
Where you're at now, babe, you've come a long way. Whenever I give you feedback about something, whenever we have that like huge conversation about how you need to improve, but you kind of take it in, and sometimes it takes you a while to change it, switch it up. And I see you really push yourself to do those things. So I'm proud of you. Like,
I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Because we took our time, before we decided to be parents. So we deliberately entered into that phase. So I think that's pretty much why. Yeah, there are definitely days that are hard for sure. But it's not like you question like, oh, am I? It's like you go through the hard days.
Yeah.
And
I remember when she was born, when we were discharged from the hospital, and then the first 2 days, she was crying a lot. Her grandma had to bring her to us and all that. And I remember that day I was actually crying, and then I was telling her, I'm a very bad mother. So for me, of course, sometimes that self-doubt comes in like, oh, are you sure you're doing this right?
There are also days I question myself. And most of the time it happens when, we need to get something done and maybe I'm not really boxed up to do it. That can be normal for a man. I think every parent at one point will ask his or herself, am I ready for this? Doing the right thing.
She actually motivates me a lot. Some projects that I would get, maybe
more money.
Yeah, to make more money. Yeah, I was like, oh, you're paying me $500. I'm not doing this, is too stressful. Now that with her in the picture, I'll just bring it on, let's do it.
For me, when I was pregnant, it hit me that, oh, I'm going to become a mother. I didn't question whether I was capable because I knew that I can also be a baby while raising my baby and we'll grow together.
my name is Ogenero Paul Ejukolem, Nero for short. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Ometere. I'm a software engineer by profession. We've been married for 2 years. This year is going to make it 3. We've had a baby for 4 months.
Hi, my name is Ometere, Tere for short. I'm a writer and a video editor. I'm married to this beautiful human. Thing about becoming a parent, nobody tells you exactly what you're going to experience. And even if they tell you, your mind will not be able to fathom like the severity of that thing. Yeah, so even when they said like sleep when baby sleeps, rest when your mom is around, or even breastfeeding, they told me that breastfeeding is hard, but I kept thinking like, how hard can it be? Until like when I was in that situation and it was extremely difficult. A lot of times I jokingly say, nobody told me like this is going to be like this. When you imagine having a baby, you just think about the fun parts, like you cuddling your baby giggling, all of that stuff. You don't really think about like the sleepless nights, the burping, all of those stuff. It is exhausting.
I wish our child was the opposite gender.
I remember when we started dating, I told you that my first child was going to be a girl.
Yeah, and I didn't want a girl.
And you didn't want a girl. And I'm not regretting it. She's been the best thing. Even now, if we're going to have a second child.
A boy.
If that's the case.
It's the case.
At first, you know that I wanted a girl first. But now, like, I love him so much that, like, sometimes like, if he was a little girl, like, that would be so cute, like having a mini me. But yeah, just like 50-50, really, for me.
I think for me, I always wanted a boy first. Again, someone I could play with, someone that was like my little one, like a mini me, could just like rough play with, throw around, things like that. But there are some times I do think like, you know, when you hear about like fathers and their daughters, so like I would love to experience that one day, and like the softness that brings, the emotions that could like bring. So like I do think about that sometimes, like, oh, if he was a little girl, like would I be different or not? But I am happy that, you know, I'm delighted to have a boy first, and hopefully by God's grace we could get a little girl. Like.
You know how once they see that you're pregnant, the first thing they will say is, "Okorini careful," and all of that. And of course, you know, from where I'm coming from, at first I didn't want a girl because of, you know, everything I went through and all of that. So, but then you were able to change my perspective.
He never cared about the gender, but I wanted a baby girl first.
It's not like I didn't want a baby girl. I expected a baby girl. You know, I did just based on family, you know, my family, my sister is the first, then, you know, their boys after. So I feel like the second child, I'll be like, if we have a second child, then I'll be like, boy or girl. It will be tricky. But the first one, I just felt like it's going to be a girl. So my mind never really went to like, oh, what if it's a boy?
I think before we did the test, and I wanted a boy, like, though I think maybe like, I'm happy she's a girl. Sometimes I see toys like, and those toys are like, okay, these toys are for guys, so I can't really get it for her. In the real sense of it, I secretly want to get those toys for myself too, because I didn't have them.
For me, I actually did not have any gender in mind. I wasn't about whether a boy or a girl. No. Actually, I wasn't really about any gender, because I felt like, oh, whichever one it comes, there's always the next time to try again.
So many outsiders or family members have opinions on how we raise our child.
The people are always going to have opinions, but I feel like when it comes to us, our relationship, the people we have around us, they know their boundaries.
I'm surprised. I thought as a woman, a lot of people would have been telling you stuff, you know, about breastfeeding, about, you know, how to take care of a child. Because for me as a guy, I don't feel I have that much outside noise.
For me, I have experienced that, but I won't say it's like so much where it's like unbearable. It's just like, you know, comments here and there. It doesn't really affect me.
Do you think it's more maybe when you were pregnant, breastfeeding, or about, you know, natural delivery versus CS, and people just like kind of how to handle your pregnancy?
Exactly. It was definitely like while I was pregnant. At some point, it was like everybody has something to say, and I don't really want to hear about it. Like we're going to do whatever we want when it comes to our child, and a lot of those opinions were from people of the older generation, which a different generation, they raised their kids differently. I just kind of filtered what I thought was good and kind of left what was not.
Even in times where people might be, should I say, overreaching, we still come together and say, okay, this is what this person said. Are we taking the advice or are we not? We pretty much say, okay, first off, you know, our daughter is unique. Our experience is unique. What can we learn from what they're saying? And then pretty much just move from there.
I actually don't care. So maybe because, number one, our parents are not in Lagos. I think the only time we get to have a bashing of, why is she lean? is when we probably will go home and then we go with us. This girl is people are not giving her food, and it comes as we get with jokes like people you get all those things. But when it comes to serious parenting techniques and you feel this, no, we don't have.
I think everyone around us tend to understand that what we agree on, we agree on. I think nobody was even suggesting those funny suggestions like get agbo for the child. I think maybe because they know what you do and they feel like you got it covered.
So being a preacher's kid, there are lots of expectations, especially from my parents now. Yeah. They want you to live, the way the society thinks the preacher's kid should live. For her using earrings and all of that, I remember before I gave birth to Selma, God, Lutifo, and all of that. I'm like, go and talk to her father.
I sometimes don't feel connected to our baby.
It's like as she has grown older, she's more of a daddy's girl, but still with that, we still have our own times and moments. And there's never been any time when I doubted having a connection with her.
I can remember very well, around that close to 1 year old, I was going through something and I carried her and then she was using her right hand to tap me. Like, don't worry, it's going to be fine. It's okay, daddy. So when you have a child that is that emotionally intelligent, it is hard for you to be out of sync with her because she understands when you are down. She, in a way, knows when to come and meet you for something. And that's exceptional.
Like you said, she's a daddy's girl. She's always on this mode. The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
This is no newsflash, right? Yeah. I think when I just had our baby, I don't know if it's because of the challenges during pregnancy and like childbirth itself, the process. I think that took like a mental toll on me and it was hard for me to connect. So a lot of times I would be scared to look like straight into her eyes because it just felt like I was looking at a total stranger. I was like, what's this? It was scary to look at her. I just didn't feel that connection initially. But I think right now, I wouldn't say it's like 100%. I am working towards it.
I would have thought you would have said yes, because I know that when he was first born, like he didn't feel as connected because he was still a baby. He wasn't really doing much.
I felt a bit useless because I couldn't really do much with him.
Yeah.
Then he was just literally, so fragile, and you and your mom were like very hands-on. So sometimes I did feel a bit like a third party. But I wouldn't say I felt disconnected. I just definitely feel a lot more connected now because I know he knows me. I know how he lights up when he sees me.
Yeah.
So that connection has definitely built.
So I know that some women do experience that disconnection, especially with postpartum depression. But thankfully, I didn't experience that. I've always felt super connected to my baby.
I think it was not last week when we were talking about the way house rent is and all of that. And I just started crying like, God. And she just came to me like, Mommy, stop crying. It's okay. And there are days that I will call her and she'll be like, this woman, leave me alone. She's so independent. Yeah. Do you understand? Yeah. And I'm not bothered. Sometimes, okay, never. I'm good.
From day one, it was just amazing being there for you, being there for her. Yeah. Sometimes I would even just sleep. I'll just be watching the two of you sleep. So I think that connection was
and
built.
Delete that video. He has a video of me sleeping like in the most horrible position with our baby. Go and delete that video.
I'm afraid I'll pass on my worst traits to our baby.
I think for me, definitely when it comes to some things like biting my nails and maybe staying up late, going out to play football and or putting clothes on the floor, things like that. So I even threaten you sometimes that if you're not careful, I'm not going to keep on biting my nails in front of you when you're always telling me to stop. But I do sometimes think damn, some of these my bad habits are going to be passed down to my son because naturally just by osmosis it's going to happen.
The reason why I picked no is because I know you are here. You are like the balance to everything. So I am not scared. Probably there are some things that I am not saying that she's saying. Whatever it is, I dey put them for your hand. I trust you to lead her.
I've taken a lot of time to work on myself. So I pick a trait maybe each month or maybe each 3 months and start to work on a lot of traits that I've learned and I'm conscious of. I would not mind if my daughter actually picks them from me.
For me, I don't really think, I don't fear passing down some of my traits because I feel like to a large extent we communicate a lot while we're raising our children. It's something that I feel like I would promptly like, bro, you need to not do that in right.
Take off your shorts.
So for me, I can be very impulsive. Yeah. And I think she's like that. I don't think there's something really, really bad, but I just think that there are things that being a leader now, I realized that these things were things that affected me, and then I don't want her to be in that position.
I am very dramatic. I can be very dramatic. You know how I am. Like sometimes I can act like a baby. Sometimes I can be, like you said, extra petty. Yeah, so I'm going for the pettiness. I think I will pass my pettiness. I hope it's not bad, because it's not bad. Is it bad? Huh? You know how it's
I think what will just happen is she'll spend more time with me.
You're not serious.
I'm actually a better person now. You said, I actually have your testimony and you always tell me I'm a better person. I think my parenting journey is going to be a better one. So that's why I'm not afraid of her.
You're very kind. You have a very generous spirit. So I hope that, as he's growing older, it's something that he notices and he picks up from you.
You're very emotionally intelligent. I think that emotional intelligence is something that, I want him to take from you. You're also quite street smart, that people might see you and not think that, but you just know, sometimes you're like, oh my God, this person is trying to cheat you. I'm like, really? Because I always see the best in everyone.
Yeah.
And also, apart from traits, physical traits, you're a beautiful woman, and I want him to grow up to be a very handsome man and a good-looking man.
This man can aim for perfection. Well, not in a bad way. We don't relax with bad attitudes. When we're two very self-aware people. Yeah. So when we notice there's a bad habit, we intentionally work on it.
She read exactly what I wanted to say.
Here is an open prompt. You both get to ask yourselves one question each.
Do you still feel loved by me? Do you feel like I'm showing you that well enough, even in this really stressful and new time that we're going through?
It's something that you've been more intentional about recently. The fact that you've become more intentional about giving me kisses here and there, or being a bit more lovey-dovey. It really has been amazing. So I can't think of any questions to ask you that we haven't discussed yet.
Since we had our daughter, do you feel like we should still be in Nigeria?
This question is funny. Let me laugh away.
Yeah, we jackpot or no jackpot, I just believe in being productive wherever I am. Does that obtain for you too?
Jackpot is not a do or die affair, of course, If it happens, fine. If it doesn't happen, please, we'll make the most where we have. I can't leave Nigeria currently as a medical doctor and then because I want to jackpot and start doing a cleaning job. So I don't really have we must jackpot. Even if we're staying under the bridge, let's jackpot. I don't really have that kind of mindset. My mindset is if we can, fine. If we can't, of course, we'll make the best of wherever we are at every point in time.
Like I said, exactly 1 month ago, I had a rethink and I really, honestly, don't want our child to grow here. I'm sorry. I hope, God, I hope Jesus calls. I wish we were not having this conversation here because I was scared to have the conversation because I was like, you're going to just feel like I left you on that thought process. But yeah.
Okay, so it's not that serious. I think you don't give my equipment enough respect. Chilo, make I finish. When Selma is going towards your office, I know the way. My antennas, everything, stand up. Selma, don't go there. If you leave your daddy's office. But let's reverse the table now. Bam. Selma is going towards my office. My brother, you will not move. My equipment are more dangerous because we have scissors, pin, machines, needle.
I don't think it's about me not regarding the office. I think it's about me carried away by what I'm doing.
I can be carried away by what I'm doing when she's going to your office. It's because your stuff are expensive.
We are different. See, naturally,
if not, I will wait.
We both know that it's hard for a man to even multitask.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I understand you. I'm going to work on it. But however, I can be carried away by what I do.
So I don't want you to use the word
carried away.
Carried away because me, I've worked on my own.
So I will work
on it.
I will work on it.
Okay.
This phase with us being parents, do you feel like I complain about playing my own role?
I think generally is, accepting that this is a difficult period and there's going to be a lot of like emotions heightened. Yeah. So over times where we may have like one or two arguments, and all of that, I should try to communicate like, oh, like I love you, I understand what you're going through to the best of my abilities. So I don't feel like you complain too much. If it's too much, I feel like that's why I'm your partner. I am.
Can I hold him? Am I allowed to hold?
Oh my God.
Thank you.
You are very industrious. That I give to you. Run a business that is doing well. And sometimes you actually just forget me and this girl. Yes.
My heart.
I feel like sometimes because there's a deadline, I will have to pick up Selma and if I have a deadline, I can't even come and meet you. You understand what I'm saying? Thank God you are laughing, you understand?
Okay.
It's not a feeling, not just a feeling.
I left you true.
It's the true. And secondly, I was going somewhere. Another thing I remembered is, please, know what you want to eat.
Thinking of what to eat in marriage is work. I'll think of what you want to eat in the morning. I'll think of what you have to do. If you were to be like, I want pounded yam and egusi soup tonight, probably I'll be eating with you prepared.
Shall we move on?
Our baby loves me more.
Well,
Good.
she's
I'm proud of you.
for now though.
Thank you for giving that to me.
Right now, there's only one source of food, So until
When I pass like this, she knows I'm around.
until that transition happens.
Yeah.
So maybe from like when she's like
wish.
1 year, then
wish.
my answer will change.
Allow me contest this one.
So, well, I am the mother. I am the mother that mother her. The fact that she's always with you, but there are some key moments that she'll be like, I want my mom.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And those little time, even if it's not more than 10 to 15 minutes, we are good. Do you
But
understand?
if she now use 10 to 15 minutes with you,
Are you 70
use 45
with you?
minutes with me.
See, guy, the 15 minutes
that already,
has covered.
No. That alone.
But you know what? I don't want us to debate it. The girl loves us, and that's the reason why I picked Green.
Is that where you want
You still
to
want to talk? Continue.
I think that's the easiest question we have here today. I think she loves me more. I don't know the science behind it, like daughters and their fathers, but now I'm experiencing it first. And I think if she cries and maybe like her mom is trying to pacify her and she's not keeping quiet, once I come with my magical hands, my blessed hand, and I carry her, she would keep quiet. Sometimes I jokingly ask her, like, the hands are not different. Like, why does she have that preference? I don't know.
I spend more time with her, obviously, and I play with her the most. And I sing her favorite song.
Tough
You
food
don't
and
have a
singing.
good voice.
But she doesn't understand that.
When
She still
does
sleeps.
Well,
Sometimes we won't do karaoke in the middle of the night. We put YouTube, put karaoke, start singing, and she's enjoying my voice and she's
I
just
dance
sleeping.
with her. I just of course, she loves me more.
Like I said, I concede mostly because of the food, not the other things.
Oh, that's a lie. You're lying.
Babe.
You're lying. You're just trying to be nice.
I don't think he loves me more. I just feel like because he spends more time with me, or because he knows I feed him the most. So naturally, like if someone gives you food more than the other person, they would
You're just
react.
trying to be nice.
I don't think he loves me more.
I would say he obviously, like I said, he's obviously more used to you in that way.
Yeah.
But now now he's 4.5 months in now.
Yeah.
Like I do feel it's not too dissimilar. Like when maybe he's with guests and he sees me, like he starts kicking, he starts jumping and smiling. But with you, I can sense there's just a little bit
no
extra.
difference.
You should be on green. You should be on green for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for being nice, but you should be on green.
I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but I really genuinely don't think that he loves me more. I just feel like, yes, because I'm his mother, I feed him, I spend more time with him, naturally he does have that reaction.
That's
but like,
love, though.
I won't say that, oh yeah, my son loves me more than his dad. I've never said that.
I think it's actually a phase to me because, but immediately she stopped breastfeeding, you became a paddy. She always wants to be with you and everything. Even when she's crying, my daddy, my daddy.
I want more children with my partner.
I'm sorry. I mean,
So wait, calm down, be calming down.
Oh, you want 12 more?
Yeah, so that we'll have like a full football team and like 2 substitutes. She will make it 15 so that
Man, in this Valablu economy.
Oh no, I expected that. Yeah.
I wish there were 2 red buttons. I would, if I fall, use my hands and my toes. So how do I put this now? It's not you. It's me. I just hope you understand.
Being new parents, sometimes it could be feel like the most stressful thing in the world, but there's a joy and a closeness that it brings. It's way better than any trip we could ever take. Like the amount of freedom we could ever have, like having a human between us and like, when we're both kissing on both cheeks at the same time and we're looking in the mirror, like there's a feeling that like can never be replicated.
Yeah.
I would love to have more with you and like continue to build a family.
I know why you are in this, why you picked Red, because Selma's, the process was quite hard on us. Yeah, it was quite hard on us. Even after we had the baby, you still had a little bit of postpartum depression, which took a big toll on you.
With everything that has happened, like the process of birthing a baby. Never again. And I think I've communicated that now. I don't hide it.
So it's...
And I don't pretend. I don't want to.
Definitely want to have more kids or a kid.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about that yet. That newborn stage, it was a bit overwhelming. And I was like, I don't know if I want another child. But now I'm at that stage where like, you know what? I don't mind like having...
You don't mind?
Not right away.
I'm saying you don't mind or you want...
I definitely want like another kid with you.
So I understand where this is coming from. And like I know that, over time you definitely get out of this. I understand you. But if I am
you think I will get out?
Yes, I know you will.
Not of depression. Of course, I'm out of depression, but out of maybe changing my mind, I want another.
You will change your mind.
I'm not going to try to convince you not over this period and how things work.
Next period, that period.
Because no. So how I view it is just like, okay, we wanted to say, okay, after we get married, we'll stay 2 years before we become parents. Somebody who was the one that came and said, baby, 1 year have passed.
Stop it. What do you mean?
So I'm going to apply the same principle and patiently just wait.
People say that once the baby comes out of your belly like this, you forget all the old labor and all of that. Me, I did not forget.
Because of what you
I don't know. I told my mom that I don't know how you did it, that you have 5 kids. I am still traumatized. And thinking about it alone is scary.
People say that, mothers, like after they go through childbirth, they always say, I'm not going to have another child just because of how rigorous the process is, but they say we'll come around. For me, I can't see it coming around.
Yeah, but this is still the period where you saying that is still under the umbrella.
No.
Yeah, so
I have looked into the future. I know myself.
Don't worry.
I will not change my mind.
I'm happy this is going to be online.
The funny thing is that I have said, if I change my mind, I want you to because not put my head so that
why would I want to?
That's the thing. You can't just want it. We have to.
If you don't have a baby now, it doesn't change how I feel about you. You just said, I don't think I want to have another child right now. Was that not what you said? Good. So, and I'm saying, I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying that when the time is right, because this
what if there's no right time?
Where they've calmed down. Thank God, this is going to be online. You will come back, somebody will play with your auntie. What happened? You said this.
And I'm confident once when your parents watch this section, please, we'll send this section to mommy and daddy.
Everyone will say, God forbid. I rebuke you in Jesus' name.
I've never thought of having just one child.
At least Let me hear that
Like
number.
7.
10. Oh, you're joking, right? I think maybe like 2 or 3 is fine.
Yeah.
Just like you have a plate or a mountain of pounded yam right in
You're not
front
done
of you. You are not
eating
done eating it. So right now, like another child is not in the picture. So I want to bond more with my wife.
Let's say we mistakenly shoot it.
What are you shooting?
Chill. And I come tomorrow and say, babe, I'm pregnant. And we both know that I am still healing. What would be your response?
An abortion is out of it. Yeah, that's the truth. Because, you know, I don't believe in coincidences.
Then let's try as much as possible not to go.
Just
Like
in
I
case
said.
my future baby, I have not decided whether or not I want to have, in case he watches this show in the future.
You'll definitely
I'm sorry.
watch it. So
Because I changed my
apologize
mind.
well. No, apologize
I'm sorry,
well.
it's not you, it's me.
Apologize well.
I'm sorry, but for now, nah.
Yes?
Okay, let me say the truth. I am open to having another child, but not now.
That's what I'm saying. So you're saying the same thing.
So when I say 10 years, are good.
Sincerely speaking,
If you tell me already, it's not.
I know what I'm saying. So so that's why I said it's a phase. When you are out of it, you will know.
So what I've learned today about him is pretty much that he is consistent. From the show, you could tell that I knew most of his answers. Yeah, that just proves that he is who he is.
Coming here today, I wasn't different. I had to do this because of her, because I really want to make her happy. I really want to, it's just, okay, you want this bar? We'll do it. That's why I'm here. And yeah, it's a good experience.
For new moms, you need a good support system around you, a very wonderful support system. But as an African mom, you need to be stubborn. Sometimes I hear people come to say, oh, my mother-in-law said I must give this particular thing to my child. I feel like you need to have some atom of stubbornness. And of course, you and your partner should agree on how the delivery would go. One thing is, when you're not aware of those things, you'll be open to getting so many advice from people, both professionals. Even when you go to get your baby things, they would ask you, oh, buy this one is for rash for the child, this one is for this, because you're pregnant. And then when you don't have those information, you would easily get those advice from them and just start practicing those advice even when they are not true.
I would say, first thing on your mind will be patience. You have to be patient through this period. And firstly, you also have to convince yourself that you have the capacity to accommodate, everything that's happening. It's a difficult period. It's a transitional period, yeah? The only thing is, if there are things that are core to the relationship that you feel like, oh, this is maybe crossing a line, you need to understand how to communicate it in a way that is acceptable within this period. You don't communicate how you communicated before.
Really, communication and listening, because sometimes as men we can think too logically, like, oh, this doesn't seem important, this is, but like when she's talking, try and listen. We're not going to always get it right. So the times I didn't get it right, she's carrying the child, she's going through all the emotional and physical stress. So I think listening is the most important thing. Like, you also have to kind of be perceptive as a man, as the leader of the house. Sometimes you also have to kind of use your own brain and your own perceptive skills to know that, okay, in this moment she needs this, but she's not trying to be a mother in that kind of time, telling you to do this and that. You also have to lead your home and be the responsible person, and also help with certain things that you can see might be lacking. So just try and think outside what she tells you to do as well. I think that will also make her life easier.